There are people who are divided about this, whether or not Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 deserves a sequel. Some people agree that it does deserve a sequel. Other people disagree with the fact that it deserves one. But Xenoverse 2 is way too popular to not have a sequel because I believe since its release, it managed to reach at least 6 million copies in sales, and that game came out back in 2017. The original Xenoverse game came out back in 2015. That managed to reach at least 2.5 million in sales, and that's something that didn't just take place within a couple of weeks or so. I think it took a couple of years or so for that to happen, and the same could be said about Xenoverse 2. But if there is a Xenoverse 3, which a lot of people thought was going to happen this year in 2020, they could definitely, Bandai Namco could definitely make modifications for the gameplay. We're definitely going to have a new story mode if that does become a thing. And I guess the question is what the plot would be about, whether or not Bandai Namco would mix elements of Xenoverse 2 with elements of Xenoverse 1. Who knows? But I definitely think that Xenoverse 2 was one of the best DBZ games that Bandai Namco has made within the past couple of years. Dragon Ball FighterZ, which came out in 2018, basically was probably the most popular Dragon Ball Z game that Bandai Namco has made in the past couple of years or so. And, and that's something that's subjective. I mean, for those who are into head-to-head fighters or head-to-head crossover fighting games, I'm pretty sure you would agree that Dragon Ball FighterZ was definitely one of the best fighting games that we have seen in quite some time. It's one that overshadowed the likes of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite in terms of gameplay and presentation and all that stuff. But Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a different type of fighter because it's aerial styled, it's fast paced. It's one that tells a story while you're fighting various opponents. You create your own character, and the whole character creation mechanic was something that you didn't really see too often in DBZ games prior to 2015. So I think that's probably one of the strongest points of the two Xenoverse games. But if there is a Xenoverse 3, I believe that Bandai Namco should definitely take the same type of features from 2 and carry it over to 3 and just make modifications at points where it's weak at, come up with a story, maybe combine, elements of the first and the second game, and maybe add, fusion to Xenoverse 3 to make it more appealing. So it really, these are just some ideas in terms of what they could do, but who knows if we're actually going to get a Xenoverse 3 game. And if we do get a Xenoverse 3 game, it probably won't come until maybe 2021, 2023, or maybe during the mid part of the 2020s decade. Who knows? And I guess we'll just have to see what happens.